Hey guys, in today's video, we're gonna talk about driver. If you're struggling with your driver, I'm gonna show you 3 things in today's video that I think about in my swing that I want you to put in your swing so you can hit your driver much better day to day out in the golf course. Hey guys, today I wanna talk to you about the hanger training aid. Now, I don't know if you've seen this or used this before, but it is absolutely my new favorite training aid. This hanger here creates and controls what I think is the most important part of the swing, which is the wrist angle. It snaps right on. It takes me probably 30 seconds to put on. I can put it right in my golf bag, and best of all, the main trait of a training aid that's really good is you can hit balls with it. You can actually hit balls with it. So I love this hanger training aids. I've been using it probably for the past 6 to 7 weeks in my own game. You may have seen me in videos talk about, hey, I'm really trying to get my left wrist flat at the top. Look at when I do that well, how that sits on my forearm. Now watch when I cut my wrist, how that comes off. Immediate feedback for where my wrist angle's at. I like to use this even during my takeaway. When I set it up here, I like to keep it between my arms during my takeaway, press it against my left wrist for flat left wrist at the top, press it more against. Look at when I press it against, so that shallows my shaft, that keeps my club face square to close, helps me hit from inside. So I absolutely love this. I firmly believe that this is good for every single golfer. There's no one that can have too flat of a left wrist. One of the few things that all good ball strikers have, we're trying to have. Flat left wrist, right? Super easy to use, incredible immediate feedback. With the coupon code GOGORNOGolf.com, it's only $59, and I can actually hit balls with it and get instant feedback. Yes, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's about as compressed as I can hit a ball, and that's the main point of this hanger. Iron compression. You're gonna absolutely love it. We'll put all the details down in the description down below. All right guys, Eric here out at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're talking driver. There are 3 key things that great drivers do that I want you to do that we're gonna talk about in just a moment. Now, if you're struggling with your driver, as always, I can help you out at CogornoGolf.com. That's where you can send in your swings. You can schedule a 15-minute phone call with me. Let's put a plan together. We'll put the link in the description down below. Now, struggling with driver and what those 3 things are. Here are the 3 things. I'm going to show them to you first. I'm going to give you a better idea of what they are and show you more detail on analyzer in a video in a moment, and then we'll come back and we'll talk drills and feels. So if I had to simplify it, when I'm looking at a player's setup or my own, and their swing with their driver, these are the first 3 things that I'm looking for to build an awesome foundation. And sort of what we refer to this as tilt, turn, tilt. Those are the 3 things. Let me show you what I mean. At the setup position, when I'm hitting my driver, it's very important that I have tilt to start with. That means that my spine is angled away from the target. My head's back behind the ball. The best drivers that I see have a sufficient amount of tilt, 6, 7, 8, 10 degrees, I'll show you. The worst drivers and the shortest drivers that I see have very little to no tilt. So that's always the first thing that we're looking for, tilt at setup. I'll show you more details. The second thing is turn. The best drivers I see have sufficient amounts of turn during their backswing. Generally, that's 90 to 120 degrees. The worst and shortest drivers that I see have the least amount of turn during the backswing. We'll go over that. And then tilt again. Tilt again is during the downswing, I need to have my shoulders tilted. Right shoulder down, left shoulder up. The best drivers I see, again, have more of that than the poor driver. So when someone tells me they're struggling like you might be with your driver, without seeing their video, if I was gonna guide you in the right direction, I would start in just that order. Tilt first, make sure you have enough tilt. I'll show you how to do that. Make sure you have enough backswing turn second. I'll show you how to do that. And make sure you have enough tilt third coming down. Let me show you some more details about what I'm talking about. Okay, so looking here at Tiger and Justin Thomas, not like we're all gonna swing like them, but let's use them as models, great drivers of the golf ball. The 3 things we're talking about, fundamental piece to having, would be the tilt. So if we look from face on, and these won't be perfect here, but we're gonna give us a pretty good idea of the amount of tilt that these guys have. So this would be kind of up through the center of the hips and then back through the spine. So 170 and 173, again, not perfect math, but what we're looking here at setup is the amount that their shoulders are tilted. You can see the right shoulder's lower than the left and the upper body's tilted away from the target. Again, usually 7 to 10 degrees, like you can see there. That would be fundamental number one that I would look at. I like to just, you know, a couple quick points here. It would be nice for you to have the golf ball somewhere near that lead armpit. I do like that. I do like to see the feet outside of shoulder width. Just two little quickies. If you're struggling with your driver, that would be nice to throw in. Hands are just inside of left thigh. See that there. But the tilt away from the target would be part number one. Now, as we go during the backswing, we're going to note pretty big turns. Now, are we going to all be able to turn as much as these two? Absolutely not, but we want to get as close as we can. The turn during the backswing makes our swing length longer, gets the hands deeper, provides more distance. You can see from here, well beyond a 90-degree shoulder turn on both of these players. If we look at the line inside the foot that we're going to look at here, both of them are well past that, so big turns. That would be part number two. And then the third part is going to be the tilting. So you'll be able to see when they come through impact, look at the tilt on the shoulders. So let's get them kind of just past impact here, both in the same spot. So you look at this line, you can see the right shoulder is way lower than the left. The right shoulder is way lower than the left. Again, some other variables here that we can talk about as we go, but those would be the three things that we're looking for to build in a fundamental move that's going to be successful with the driver over time. Okay, so let's start with the first part, which is the tilt. Here's the easiest way to do this. If you take your setup, get the feet just outside of shoulder width, a little bit of foot flare on either would be good. Put your hands on your quads, and I want you to let your right hand get down to the point where it's at the top of your kneecap. Now see how when I do that, that makes my upper body tilt to the right, gets my head slightly behind the ball. My right shoulder's a little bit closer to my right hip without my hips pushing forward. That'd be the best way to do this. Yeah, some players like if you put your trail hand on the outside of your trail leg and let that get down to about the upper part of your kneecap. It's also a nice way to feel it while making sure your trail shoulder stays back so your shoulders don't open. So either one of those two would get you the tilt. If you put the club across your shoulders, which we'll put into our full drill in a minute, and I put this, you can see how the club's fairly level to start with. I'd like the grip end to be higher than the club head. So this would be another way to feel this, get your right shoulder closer to your right hip there. That would be the tilt part. So part one, when I'm setting up, if I'm struggling, let me get the basics down. You know, my feet are wide, like I said. I like the ball position to be about underneath the lead armpit. That would be a nice checkpoint for you as well. But in terms of tilt, I like to take my trail hand and just put it down top of my kneecap. Keep that tilt that I have there. I'm just holding the club with my left hand. I'll bring my right hand in underneath while keeping my right shoulder back where it was. And let's just go ahead and hit from there first. Okay, so once we have the tilt in there, the second part would be the turn. And how I like to do the turn, I'm gonna take this alignment rod and put it just inside my trail leg. You can use a golf club for this as well. I'm gonna use my driver, put it across my shoulders, so the grip end is towards the target, the club head's just off my trail shoulder. And like we saw there, I'm gonna try and get a 90+ degree shoulder turn. So my goal is to get the grip at or past, and really past if I can, the stick on the ground. So if I got at the stick, that would be 90. I'd call that kind of just enough. 100, 110, 120. Now for most of us like me, I'm not extremely flexible. I need to allow a good amount of hip turn to allow my shoulders to turn that much. So don't be shy with the hip turn. As you're doing this part, let your belt buckle point towards the camera behind you. Get the grip past the one on the ground. Now I want to do that without me getting crazy, have my head way off the ball. I want to be able to maintain sight of the golf ball, but big turn. I'm okay with the left heel coming up, the left knee kicking in a little bit, and me getting some good turn on the way back down there. So recruiting your feet and your hips to allow your torso to turn. The goal of that, after the tilt, is to get my butt of the club as far away from the golf ball as I can on about a 45-degree angle. Get the butt of the club up and back, produce more power, hit more up on the ball, hit the ball farther, more draws, etc. So take my setup, have my tilt, fingers are down by my kneecap. I'm gonna keep my trail shoulder back there like that. And now I'm focusing on that big turn. Again, for me, I like the heel up a little. I like the knee in a little bit to help with the turn. Let's go ahead and do one there. Now the last piece of our foundation here is the tilt again during the downswing. Now, when I'm doing this, I either obviously have two shoulders. I can either feel like from the top of my swing, my left shoulder is the part. It's gonna go a little bit down and forward to start from shifting and turning, but from there, my left shoulder is gonna work up and back. That can be one potential feel. If you like more of the trail shoulder feels, I can get my right shoulder more under. So either one of those two feels can be good there. Now, as we're putting this all together, how I like to do this is kind of put that drill all in one. If I put my club across my shoulders, I tilt it up at setup, so the grip is higher, part one. During the backswing, I get it at or past my trail foot, and then during the downswing, I feel that go up and behind me. So for me personally, I like those left shoulder, lead shoulder feels. Up to start, not shrugging my shoulder up, I'm just up from tilting. Back behind my trail foot, slightly down, up and back. Up to start, back behind my trail foot, slightly down towards the ground, probably just outside the ball line. Up and back. So really feeling the way through, like my left shoulder's coming up and around big time, and that'll get my right shoulder lower. So I'm gonna feel my left shoulder high to start, back around as I turn, and up and back on the way through. High to start, back around and through. Yeah, and that's a nice strike there. And like I mentioned, for me, I like the left shoulder feels, but some people will like the right shoulder, trail shoulder. So same drill, I would feel like my right shoulder's down and back a bit. Let me put this just a little bit more forward. I would feel like my trail shoulder is back and down, then it turns back around me, and then down and through. So it's back, it's down and back, back around, down and through. Back around, down and through. And those feels can give me those same three pieces. Tilted setup, back and down, around me, down and through on the way through. Let's put those together. Tilt, turn, tilt. Tilt. And I might need to switch to right shoulder feels because that was the best one out of all of them. So that's the driver motion, tilt, turn, tilt. Go back and review those videos and look at the little pieces as well, like the ball position inside of the heel, the feet width, a little bit of foot flare, all those things help. If you're not hitting the ball solid, I would start here. All three of those are tremendously important. If you're having big direction control issues, I'd go back and review those fundamentals. Is your grip correct? Is the club face too open? And the club path videos. As always, I think the best way for you to improve is to get coaching, to get feedback, accountability. We have all of that at CogornoGolf.com. You can also schedule a 15-minute phone call with myself. We can put together a plan for you. We'll put that link down below. We'll put the Cogorno Golf card on the screen. We'll put another card with a similar style video. If you guys enjoyed this, click that gray thumbs up button. Thank you guys for watching.